Welcome everyone, and welcome to, I'm just going to put this up, unfortunately the timings in the background, I've been caught out by my own finger things. I'm Dennis Mitchell, and tonight we are joined by guest commentator Hilton Nixon for round 2 from the Sim Experience. It's actually the 2023 Alwin Radical Cup. I'm not sure why the date isn't correct up there, so apologies for that. And it's actually the 2023 Alwin Radical Cup. This is round 2 as well coming up. I've got the tournament far away. But this is round 2, I promise you. And of course our schedule for tonight. This is round 2 from Monza. We'll have round 3 next week from Kyalami, round 4 from Road America, round 5 from Imola, round 6 from Barcelona, the MotoGP circuit, round 7 from Mugello, and round 8 will be from Zwartkops. So the drivers at the moment are just busy finishing up and about to go into qualifying. There's just under 2 minutes to go. But beforehand, perhaps Hilton and I can just give you a little bit of an indication as to what's happening at the moment. So we'll just be watching some of the drivers doing their laps, and hopefully everyone can just let us know if the audio levels are right. But Hilton, good evening.
Well, good evening, Dennis. Good evening to those watching tonight's race. It looks like it's going to be a very interesting challenge between the guys tonight, by the looks of the practice.
Yeah, definitely. Quite interesting so far what all is happening, so perhaps we can get a little bit of an onboard just going quickly. Let's see if I can hop over to this. Let's have a look at Adrian now, who's currently one of our fastest drivers. I believe Robert Diffenau is in the server at the moment. He's 10th, 4th for his time, so it looks like it's been a very close battle between the two of them. Adrian is one of our fastest drivers, and Wilbur himself is one of our fastest drivers when it comes to Assetto Corsa. He of course is the brother of younger Diffenau. Wide there. Sky 2. Sorry, Lesmo 2. I'm going to do the Sky. No, not the Sky, I'm going to do it right eventually. Go back to my main screen. You guys don't see where overtime. The guys are now finishing off their practice laps. Just to let you know, since I came in a little bit too early, this is of course this second round, not the third round. Hopefully all the other overlays aren't like that. I did change a few of them last minute to include Hilton. Maybe I've changed the wrong one, so hopefully I didn't screw up all of them. But this is round 2 from Monza in Italy. Probably the fastest track on the calendar for this Radical Cup. So we should see a little bit of slipstreaming here, or possibly a lot of slipstreaming here. So as the drivers are now finishing up, I'm going to take it away, jump to a quick ad break, and we'll be back for qualifying. welcome back everybody. I believe our sounds are maybe a bit too loud versus our actual sound. So what I'm going to do is try and increase Discord sound. I'm going to allow Julian to come join us. He's asking to come join. So perhaps Julian, are you there? I'm not sure if Julian is joining us.
I know you sent me a direct message saying the in-game volume.
Yeah, Julian has sent us to an invite to join, or a message to try and join us. If Julian can hear us, just jump into one of the rooms and I'll drag you over. I did put yes on the invite, so you should have been accepted. But okay, so at the moment, while we're waiting for that to happen, we're just watching the action at the moment. I'm going to go back to what I was watching so I don't get too confused. So welcome everyone. So I'm doing things rather sloppy tonight. So we of course are here for round 2 qualifying. Once again, I have screwed up all the things, so apologies, I've screwed up everything. I had everything right, went over it 1,000 times, and then last minute I made a change. And so yeah, it is round 2, not round 3 from Monza. So we are here for qualifying tonight. It's a 15-minute qualifying session. We're back on going standard currently on an out lap, I believe. Maybe it's actually on a flying lap. So we'll get rid of that, and just to let everyone know the current schedule for the season. So tonight is Monza, next week will be Kyalami, after that is Road America, then Imola, then Barcelona MotoGP, then Mugello, and then Zwartkops. So alright, let's now get into our qualifying sessions. As you watch Yandere Dippenaar with the first chicane. I believe that is Wilro that is currently behind him. No, it's actually Andre Hildebrand. So what I'm going to do is perhaps just jump to Andre Hildebrand. And hopefully everyone else can just let me know if I have changed the audio volumes. Just let me know if it's alright. We can always just tweak it on the fly. These are things that are never quite 100%. We kind of just go with the flow.
Evening, Kilo. Alright, so welcome Julian. We have Julian joining us in commentary tonight. So we have a three-team commentary team tonight. So 2 guest speakers joining us tonight.
Hey guys.
How's it?
Sorry, my audio is going to be terrible now, but I'm upgrading to my broadcast setup, so...
You don't sound too bad. Hopefully it doesn't sound too bad on the stream, but at the moment, yeah, it doesn't sound too bad. I'm just going to jump to a different view quickly, just so that we can follow some of the different actions. So at the moment we're watching Yandere Dippenaar has just made a mistake. I believe that was into turn 1, into the chicane.
This is still qualifying, eh?
It is qualifying. It's showing 15 minutes left, which is quite strange because it's supposed to be a 15-minute qualifying, but maybe the server was set for 20 minutes and I've got that wrong.
I mean, that turn 1 could be a very exciting.
So our dual screen at the moment we're watching from Andre Hildebrand on his onboard shot, and on the main screen we're watching a little bit of Andre with a rotating camera and a little bit of all the other drivers. That camera shot is just rotating on its own. So we can follow the action. Andre is sitting right behind Yandere Dippenaar at the moment.
Catching a bit of a slip there.
Yes, I think that's going to be crucial at this track.
Adding a lot of, giving himself a bit of an advantage there. Obviously, you know, Shaun is quite fast, so...
I believe this is into Ascari, and then the final corner is parabolic if I names are correct. And before that we have Lesnar 1, Lesnar 2. That's about the only names from the track that I remember.
What a names, never Mustang. But let me get this broadcast mic, a better mic going here.
Alright, no problem. Plenty of time before the race starts. It's a little bit understeer there from Andre as he heads into the corner and then starts to grip up just near the exit. And there's not changed to the same view, it's kind of odd, the same view in both cameras. Alright, so I'm going to just jump back to our main camera. So we can watch the action there for a bit and just see how everything is progressing. Let's see how well those times are going. Perhaps at the moment what I should be doing is looking at the lap times. So at the moment, Peter Calder races our provisional pole sitter on a 155.0 from Adrian Nell on a 155.4. In practice on the Adrian had done 54s, so I'm sure he'll be up there. Wilra had also done 54s. Andre Duppenal currently in 3rd place. So we're currently now watching Javi Goos. And Peter in the chat in the game is saying, "Hoi Millies." So Javi Goos is actually still a very fast driver. He just seems to struggle a lot with some of the sims.
Yeah, particularly in RF2.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's been struggling quite a bit, but he seems to be quite comfortable in this car and this sim. And comes into his own a little bit here.
Not quite as comfortable as he is in Automobilista. There, when you guys did some practice races, he was one of the fastest. He actually had pole position at some of the races and won the races. So he still has the pace. In fact, in real life, the guys are still trying to get him to go do some Formula V racing again. And they're pretty convinced that he will win the championship again, the South African championship. So he still has the pace.
For those that don't know, Javi was a real world driver back in the day.
Yes, and he's won the South African Formula V championship more times than any other driver and across 3 different decades.
Fascinating.
That's almost my lifetime.
Yes, it's quite amazing. So we currently have a new provisional pole sitter, Shaun Clarke on a 155.025 versus Peter Geldenhuys' 155.069. So pretty close at the front at the moment. Currently 10 drivers on track. Only 8 times have been posted, that's why we only see 8 in the timings at the moment. I'm just going to see what's happening with the other times here. I'm trying something different for tonight with regards to our dual stream, so if there's any issues I'm apologizing up front. Not that familiar with doing dual setup with Assetto Corsa, it's very different, but I will do my best. Try and get us some more interesting shots. So for now, as an example, let's jump to this shot. So we have Javi Goos. Let's see him getting down to turn 1. Let's see if this camera is going to change to the same camera that I had in the second piece, okay, now it's gone external. Let's see what his brake mark is compared to some of the other drivers. Okay, got that all wrong. So Adrian Nell currently on a fast lap. The camera has now panned into him. Thank you, Parabolica. Takes the real world race line, not all drivers do that. Let's see if this puts him in the provisional pole. It doesn't, he's actually slightly slower than Peter Geldenhuys still. Shaun Clarke has just actually gone faster into the 154.658. So Shaun, not far off what Adrian and Wilra have done in their practice session. So I'm sure we're going to see Adrian and Wilra fighting it out with Shaun Clarke at the front. I'm just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with the rest of the guys. We don't have all the guys having their times up at the moment. I believe Shaun Johnson hasn't set a time yet. In fact, Shaun Johnson isn't even on the server, so my apologies. I believe he might have load shedding at the moment. He'll probably only join for the second race. Lots of understeer there for John Sander. As we headed into Radical, we saw that the same amount of understeer for, I believe it was on the Hinderbelt. Peter Geldernees in the Golf livery at the moment. Looks fantastic. Number 88. So the only driver that hasn't yet posted the time is Brandon Roberts. He's done an out lap and he's done an in lap and possibly he's on another out lap, so maybe something went wrong. We will see.
I think he also had load shedding slightly earlier. I think he only also jumped on just before qualifying.
Yeah, unfortunately the way things have been going with load shedding, it's been pretty hectic the last couple of weeks, so some of the guys just haven't had any time to practice.
Yeah, and then it's jumping from the one sim to the next one.
Yes, I mean, I know myself, I'm trying to get things running for everyone and I just don't have time to do things because the power's off all the time. And when it is on, you've got to try and cram a whole day's worth of activities into an hour or two. Right, is Donnie on a better lap now? Let's have a look. Donnie's done the currently in 7th place. He did not do a personal best into sector 1. Going quite aggressively there into Ascari.
Mic check. Mic check, mic check.
No, my name's not Mike.
Oh, sorry. My mic should sound a lot better now.
It does sound much clearer. A bit softer, but much clearer.
I can turn it up. I don't want to clip.
That's fine. Just turn it up a little bit, that sounds good.
Fantastic. Yeah, guys, this is exciting and nice to have a chat and a bit of banter for the race, eh?
It's awesome to have more guys joining, so hopefully we can have more conversation.
Yeah. No, it's been good, and it's I think we've had a good start to all our seasons, and the fact that we're now just continuing despite load shedding, well, within reason. I think it's a good thing to be more consistent out there.
Just a question asked in the YouTube by Gary Johnson. What happens to the guys that have load shedding at 8 o'clock? Well, our championship, we drop 4 races from the championship. So if they happen to be one of the guys that loses out on race 2, then that race will be dropped from the championship results for them. And hopefully then they can make the next one and they don't lose it for all of the races. So that kind of becomes one of the dropped rounds automatically. So you just got to make sure that the rounds that you do make that you have the best possible results. And also good evening to Jason and to Timo and of course yourself, Julian, in the comments.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Nice to be here. Very spur of the moment that I decided to join. I was more observing and I was trying to chat to everybody about the sound, so I ended up here. Glad to be here.
How does our sound come out of them? Is everyone happy with the sound at the moment?
I'll double check for us and make sure.
I know it's mostly when we go onboard, but onboard unfortunately does just pick up the volume automatically, so we can't really control it and have it the same between onboard and trackside. There's probably ways of doing it, but I just don't have that at hand at the moment. So watching Peter Geldernees, he's currently 2nd place, still 4/10 off Shaun Clarke. So Shaun is currently the pace setter and setting quite a good pace. I'm surprised that Alwin now and Wilro Dupino hasn't yet set a lap to compete.
That is interesting. I wonder if anyone's holding back a bit.
I don't think Adrian would be holding back knowing that the pace at the front is his pace. I'm sure he'd want to go out and set a time.
That's one of Peter's weekend between them.
Let's try and get...
Okay, boys, it's official. We sound amazing.
That's good to hear. That's always good to hear.
Hilton, I've never heard you this quiet, Joe. What's going on? Hey?
Yeah, wasn't the spark this afternoon, was I?
Yeah, is it the pressure of a live broadcast and the fact that it's going to be on some experience? I mean, we're going to do a podcast on this channel soon enough. I mean, You're gonna have to bring the heat.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's going to be another interesting bit of fish, really.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be exciting. There's so much to talk about in the world of sim racing. You know, Max Verstappen aside.
Max Verstappen, yeah. And it's definitely a different kettle of fish.
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm still a bit heartbroken that he shattered our favorite sim like that. Well, I say our, just loosely, but it's my favorite sim.
Yeah, mine too.
All three of us are good.
Yeah. But maybe it's a good little thing, a little bit of a good restart within the sim community to all round up our game and start paying more attention. Maybe we can get some new content besides Gen Sport in the future.
Yeah, look, sometimes it's beneficial to have these comments made by high-profile drivers. Look what happened with iRacing when the pandemic hit, and a lot of real-world drivers, mostly IndyCar drivers, drove the IndyCar there and complained about it, and they had a major physics update, which improved it for the majority of the guys. Shaun taking a lot of curve there. The guys that are watching the YouTube can see I'm currently on a different screen here to what you guys in the commentary are watching. But yeah, so sometimes, this kind of harsh criticism that comes across from one of the top real-world drivers can actually become very positive for the sim. They don't realize it at the time, but that hits home and the guys go and do something about it. It's very bad press for them, just as it was for iRacing. So they had to save face by going and fixing their problems. So fingers crossed that Studio 397 will do the same. They are very open to discussions. They always listen to what the guys say on their Discord. So hopefully they'll take it apart.
I was actually thinking today, and actually I was actually asking this earlier. I'm probably almost pre-exempting it's going to be some sort of update graphic in the near future based on last weekend's incident.
I think we can all safely say that we're ready for Artifact 3 and Assetto Corsa 2.
Yes.
And I think the future of sim racing looks bright. I mean, we've got a Formula One world champion twice over racing sims, and as much as he doesn't want to, and much as he threw his toys out the cot the other day, he's racing our favorite sim. Putting months and months of practice into it, so it's a real nod to our sport and to where we're going. It's just I think sim racing is still in a conundrum of formatting.
Just a quick change of subject, sorry to butt in. It looks like Alwin is maybe going to improve. He's almost a second down. Shaun Clarke just posted his personal best.
Can you see their deltas or something?
I can. So Shaun Clarke at the moment is 6 tenths still ahead of Adrian. Let's compare the deltas. So if you guys want to look, you can go look on the website, simexperience.ddns.net, semicolon 8772 /live timing.
Just do that again for us, or can you share a link?
It's in the YouTube description, so if anyone wants to look at the live timing, the link is in the description.
Fantastic.
And you can see that at the moment, Adrian set a personal best Sector 2, Sector 3, but a slower Sector 1. But Sector 1 is slightly faster than Shaun Clarke. We have 40 seconds left to go in qualifying, so it looks like Shaun Clarke is going to get pole position. I don't know that Shaun is in the pit, so he won't be able to improve. Adrian is still on a lap. Slightly slower than he had been before by about 0.2 of a second. Peter Caldenas has just done the fastest, his personal best in Sector 1, 4 tenths faster than Alwin currently. So let's see, maybe Peter Caldenas can throw a spanner in the works there. And then, of course, Wilrose in the pit. So
Alwin just come to a stop there.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's it. It's over.
I think that's the 120% overtime now.
All right, I'm going to jump to an ad break. We'll be back with you shortly. Right, welcome back everyone. Hopefully I get the overlays all right. So I'm joined once again. First of all, let's say hello. I am Dennis Mitchell. I am
Hello, everybody.
joined,
Hello.
as you can hear, by Julian, and we're also joined by Hilton. So there's the three of us, and for some reason it's not showing the correct overlays. I've done overlays last minute and I seem to have screwed everything up. It's still showing round 3. It's actually round 2. We are round 2 of the Alwin Radical Cup. The lights are about to go out. So we're
Go.
there. And we're away.
Oh, a bit of a bad start there for P1.
Yes, it looks like Adrian's going to get the run down into turn 1 as the camera is now waiting for everyone to arrive at turn 1.
This is a classic turn 1 in Assetto Corsa, usually a wreck fest if you don't have good guys you're racing with.
Seems pretty clean.
Jean J gets through nice and clean.
I believe that was Richard actually.
Ah, Richard.
So at the moment, looking nice and clean from the guys. So while we're watching that, I'm going to try and get us some different camera views.
Yeah. So another tight race here with the Radicals and AC. Hilton, what do you expect? What are your predictions?
I think it's fucking your
We've got a spinner.
Beautiful.
Pile up.
Brandon had a little spin on the exit of the chicane there that caused that to hit him, I think.
Well, that's going to spread the field quite a bit early in the race.
Yeah, and you see Brandon get position back, which is a good sportsmanship. That's what I must say about these leads, Dennis, is the guys are actually fair enough to give the positions back.
Yes. Yeah, the guys are generally good sports all around, so it's a good community, and the guys understand that there's issues with sim racing, unlike some of the real racers that complain about sim racing. These guys, they cater for it. Like we just saw on that screen there was a bit of a glitch from Odin and Shaun Clarke. Things like that happen in sim racing. That's the internet for you. It's just the reality of it.
But I mean, what a beautiful thing it is that we can race cars on the internet all over the world.
It's absolutely amazing that this technology exists for us.
And I'm thankful I live in this time. And most of us race in VR, so it's quite an immersive place to be.
I'm just changing to the streamers now. Shaun Clarke at the moment chasing down Adrian now.
Lovely, nice tight battle there.
While I get the other things ready for the second shot. I'm not sure why. It looks like Adrian is now behind Shaun. It looks like he's running slightly hard there.
Adrian is number 2. Shaun is running, but I'm confused now because I'm watching both streams. One's delayed. Should stop watching the delayed one.
Yeah, I believe Adrian runs slightly wide into turn 1 and Shaun got past. He's now 0.5 of a second behind Shaun, and Richard is now 3 seconds behind, so we're dipping on 4th place from the Hildebrand in 5th. We're dipping on 6th, Donnie Stander in 7th, Harvey First in 8th, Peter Pelganes in 9th, and Brandon Robert in 10th.
I think that's a little bit unfortunate for Brandon there into that second chicane, because I think he capitalized a bit into turn 1.
Andre now looks like he
went from 10th to 7th and then back down to 10th.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was an issue that caused the guys to go off, and maybe something happened.
seems like a nice battle there for first with Andre and Shaun, eh? Hey.
The fear of the phone, as you know, look at number 8. It's 12.
Another close battle is here, Javi and Peter Feldenes.
While we're watching that, I'm just going to transition to the main view battle for first and second. So I'm just got the dual view open at the moment with Adrian now on the top right chasing down Olivia. Bottom left we have our rotating camera watching the main feed. So at the moment we have Shaun Clarke a second ahead of Adrian now. That has come down to 0.9, 0.8 now down the straight, so the slipstream definitely helping, or having helped. Richard is now 5 seconds behind, so Richard's starting to pull back slightly. He's got Jamie Dupinard within a second of him. And nice and close between them. So there are a few battles in the field. So currently we're seeing the battle for first, and we're seeing the battle, I believe that's for fifth. No, that's the battle for 8th, sorry, excuse me. I can't like this is showing all of it there. Looks like it's a bit of everyone. 6th, 7th, 8th.
Yeah,
In the background we have Carby and Knight.
Yeah, some nice close racing as we expect from the Radicals.
Yeah, we have this car in pretty much all of the sims. My favorite is the one in R-Factor. Some of the guys' favorites are this version. I believe it's available in most of the sims that are moddable. But it's a fantastic car to drive. It produces really good racing. It gives you a light enough chassis with just enough downforce. You have mechanical grip, you have aero grip, very, very little aero grip, but it's a good driver's car and it's a good car to learn your driving techniques. Obviously Don's drifting it.
Yeah, caught it nicely there, well done. It's quite an assault to drive this car as well. It's very fast, very low to the ground. It's quite a heavy steering experience, and you know, it takes a lot out of you to do 20 laps or so in this thing.
And there Don is now being passed by his father-in-law. Great father goes.
Brandon is chilling in the background watching this fight unfold.
As Xander maybe caught a bit of damage.
It is possible, I think Peter did hit him. So he did make condition. So it could be damage, it could be, and he's just getting used to the car. Maybe that's a strategy move. Race 2.
I'm quite
When
surprised.
Olivier seems to be pulling away from Andre a little bit now.
I'm quite surprised that some of the drivers like Willow that's not yet up to speed. Unless that's not Willow and that's someone else, I'm not sure, I think it is, but it says Imola, but I'm not sure if that's just his Steam lane, but I'm under the impression that that is, hopefully someone can correct me. I believe that's Willow Dupinard.
I think it is Willow, yes. Last night I did actually catch Andre and him chatting to him, so I think it is indeed him. Actually met him last night for the first time.
Also a real-world rally driver and extremely fast in rally car and extremely fast in Dirt Rally 2 in their championships that they run. Of course, Andre Dupinard is also a real-world rally driver and he's also very fast in Dirt Rally 2.
Certainly have a good racing pedigree there out of Namibia.
It's a very small country with not a lot of people, very small population, and only got one racetrack, but they do have a lot of good race drivers. I myself have raced against some of the Namibians. Ronald Slummett was one of the guys who raced here in Cape Town with me, and he was very, very fast. He, I believe, at one stage of the lap record at Kyalami even, and he raced regionals and even raced nationals, and he held himself very high against the national guys, so definitely one of the top guys, got a lot of pace. But yeah, not many guys there, but they seem to all be pretty quick.
It's probably a lot because I see Brandon Roberts managed to get past Carlton. Probably seems to be dropping down.
And that's actually going what's happening. Carby's now gone down and Brandon has gone up. Brandon has just done his fastest time of 58.1, so he's getting faster. Like the last meeting, he got faster and faster as he got familiar with the car.
I think with so much time the guys putting into R-Factor 2 and they're currently jumping back to AC after such a long break. I think it's also jumping between the two.
Burrow has made a mistake and lost 2 places. So Brandon is now up to 8th place. That's what I can do is get second screen ready for Brandon in a moment. He seems to be going forward, so maybe that'll be some good action to watch. Brandon has unfortunately gone off. Lost, I think, 1 place. He just got past Donny, or was about to get past Donny.
Peter Galden is having quite a nice consistent race here, putting in some good lap times, making his way through the field.
Wasn't for that one incident he had, I'm sure he would have been close to the front because his lap time is pretty decent.
Yeah, he's right up there. He's only 156. And the leaders are running 155s, 154s. Doing a bit there before.
The third place is a 56 at the moment, so you definitely would have been for third.
Bradley closing the gap on P7 there.
I
noticed-
currently dominating the race.
Yeah, he seems to be pulling away a little bit from. Well, Andre's actually kept it quite steady. Maybe it's just a strategy thing. He's actually kept that 1.6 seconds or just above 1 second behind him. At one stage, it felt like he was going to pull a gap, but it might have just been one small mistake. And he's just sitting patiently and waiting for the gaps, waiting for Shaun to make a mistake.
Just trying to find what's happened. I'm not sure if something just happened to
Harvey's in the pits.
Andre Hildebrand, because I think he was close up with Yonder Duppenal. No, it's Yonder Duppenal that's right behind Richard at the moment.
Right behind Richard Cilliers, yeah. Yonder is actually running slightly ran a faster lap there last lap. Yeah, they just switched. There we go. It seems like a team decision. He seems to be running slightly faster laps than Richard for whatever reason. He ran a 156, Richard did a 157 too.
I don't think that was the rest. I don't think that was team. This is Richard's
Because they're racing, lovely. Okay.
I have a dual screen watching from Yonder's point of view, and you can see just going around the outside of Richard there, and Richard back at him.
Lost a bit of time there to him. There we go, Richard's got him. I noticed Yandre switched on his lights there as to say, okay, you can stay in front.
I'm team leader.
Just catch them.
It was, by the way, it was Yonder Duppenal that got past. So Yonder is now third. Richard is the one behind.
Oh, so Richard said, I can't even find the word now. I'm nervous like you, Hilton.
I think he just yielded to the boss.
So 8 minutes left on the clock. I must say, Monza, Radicals, it's quite a strange fit, quite a fast track, some hairpins.
So the button Yonder just made a mistake into the first corner. Had to take the escape road.
Oh, shucks.
So Wilra's just done his fastest lap of the race. Only have 158. I'm very surprised that Wilra isn't faster than that. Wilra is usually one of the top guys in AC. And certainly on the timings, he was up there, so very surprised.
With Harvey in the pit.
Yes, not too sure what's happened with Harvey. I will investigate quickly.
I think he might have had a bit of damage
He's
and had
pulling
to
out of the
retire.
pits. Maybe it was just a pit stop of fuel or something. As we see, he's now coming out of the pits.
Shaun Clarke is definitely pulling a bit of a gap there, slowly but surely. He's 2.9 seconds ahead of Andre now. So it seems to be a steady gap building.
Yeah, Shaun's pace has been pretty solid, rock solid actually at the moment.
He seems to be quite comfortable out there in front.
Relevant in 6th place at the moment. Andre not showing the pace that I thought he would. I kind of had this impression that Andre would be fighting for 4th and 3rd place. So he's generally quite quick in AC as well.
Peter might have a nice battle here at the back. Maybe. If Peter gets held up a little bit, because he's definitely on the pace. Peter's well up there in the 155s.
Let's go see what Peter is doing. He's got a lot of gap between himself and the next car.
Yandre Duppenal just did the best lap of the race, I think, 154.3.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
So he seems to be finding a bit of pace later now, once since he's ahead of Richard. Still got a ways to catch up with Andre though.
So just over 5 minutes left to go, almost 5.5 minutes left to go in the race. Let's jump on board with Peter Galvinus for a lap. Just give you guys a bit of a view of what it's like to drive a lap. Unfortunately I missed the first corner, but let's just see. Going into the chicane, which I can never remember the name of. straighten up a short straight and then get into Lesmo 1. Usually taken third or fourth depending on the car. Lesmo 2 is slightly slower, so it would be taken probably third if you were fourth in Lesmo 1. Very crucial that you get a good exit here and a long straight all the way down to Ascari. Ascari also a crucial chicane, a very fast chicane. And that will lead you into another straight which leads you into the parabolic which leads you into the main straight. So lots of straights, so every corner exit is crucial here.
A bad exit loses you a lot of time on the straights.
Right, so now on the straight heading down to Parabolica. Caroline Yost also in the commentary, so good evening Caroline. Peter Murray also is, so Peter was saying that the volume was a bit loud at that point. Hopefully that was before we changed it.
Probably just when we switch to the onboard cam, that it just drowns out our voices a little bit. I must say, hat off to all commentators ever. And Shaun, what usually helps us out, you guys just keep going. I'm trying to follow this here and trying to give you some accurate information. But it's not as easy as it sounds.
Yes, I've been doing it for a while. I've always said it's not my forte, but
you seem to be a natural at everything, Dennis.
Yeah.
I still struggle at this though. It might come across that way, but it's definitely not easy.
For those of you that don't know, Dennis doesn't often race with us, but when we do have a fun race or two, he's generally beating all of us. So, just a bit of information there, useless. You'll actually make the videos for the trailers, and he'll put in perfect lap times, which is sort of the bar as to where we can possibly get to, if we are good enough and disciplined enough. Eat all our post toasties.
Maybe you'll get a sweetie.
Okay.
Now in second, the gap has come down slightly, so
Yeah.
2.3.
I've just noticed that. I wonder if he was just saving his tires a little bit there for the end.
He doesn't have much time left to go, just over 2.5 minutes to go. And then
It's
of course
been so
they have to
long.
finish a lap after that, so yeah, it's going to
It's been so long since I've driven Assetto Corsa. Do your tires wear down yet?
They do. Depends on how the servo is set. They are set to wear naturally.
No,
So
what's the track grip looking like now? Oh,
that's a
did
good
it start
question.
off on
Let's
low
look.
grip or?
I think it actually starts off on a fairly high grip and then it picks up from that anyway.
Okay.
Just to let you guys know that the driver in 7th place that we think is Wilro, I don't think is Wilro because there's, looking at the live timings, there is a Wilro dip in our time there. So this is a different driver. I don't know if it's also Wilro, maybe it's a different Wilro, but not the driver, it's not Wilro dip in our by the looks of things.
Yeah.
So Peter Cullen is currently in 5th place. He's slowly creeping forward, and I think he's catching Richard ever so slightly, but the gap is just too
He
big.
is. How many laps left?
Well, there's a minute and a half to go, and then they'll have to do another lap when they cross the line, so probably 2 laps. So at the moment, Peter is 2.4 seconds behind Richard. So we'll keep an eye on that, but just looking at the lap times, Peter did a 1:55.3 the previous lap and Richard a 1:56.5, so he's catching over a second a lap, so he actually might have enough time. Obviously, the closer he gets, he'll also have the slipstream. Alwin also now getting right up behind Shaun, 1.6 seconds behind.
Just by mistake, coming to that final point, it looks like Adrian is catching.
And just an oddity that I noticed on the second PC, the skins all look right. On the main PC, Adrian's skin is white, so I'm guessing that something's not quite right.
Yeah,
there.
I've been thrown off by the skins that we're seeing on this broadcast because I can see the PZN skin, but all the rest look a bit foreign to me, unless I'm just not afraid with everybody's skins.
It's
in
from
AC.
my point of view, it's just Adrian's that looks wrong. Is it
It's
just
fully
plain
white.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, that's a
Should
fully white.
actually be a blue skin, I think.
Okay. Oh, maybe he's getting that extra speed because he doesn't have any paint on his car.
Right, so 1.5 seconds now behind. The timer is about to run out, so they'll have to finish this lap plus one more
Oh.
lap. As it always says, 2 laps to go, but it's actually finish this lap plus another lap.
Does it look like Jean-Jay Dippenaar and the guys have also bunched up a bit? Not quite.
Jean
It
has
looks
actually
like that's
pinched
on the
third
timing.
place by the looks of things.
No, he's been there for a while. He's been comfortably there for a while. I don't know
Oh,
when you
right,
said
sorry.
earlier he hit the slipstream. I think you might have confused him with.
No, sorry, I'm getting myself confused looking at the data. Actually, Peter catching Richard that I was thinking of when I saw Richard and Rondo. So yeah, my apologies.
It's a complex world out here, guys. Some racing. We've got live timing screens, you know, and all sorts that you need to stay abreast of. It's not easy, but we do it for you here at Sim Experience.
Yeah, it's quite different doing it from sim to sim because the tools that you use are different to get the same results. So let's
Luckily,
see.
we have Dennis. Our streams are more successful than the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which is the biggest sim race in the world.
That's true.
So
Definitely more action.
there's been a bit of talk in our group about getting Dennis to take over. That seems as the Zwartkops the king. Team High Revolution will step in there and help him.
We're discussing that just on the screen with Juice Group and on the top right with Adrian now. So 1 lap to go. The drivers are now on their final lap. And we're watching Adrian chasing down Shaun.
Ooh, that's a
Gap
nice
is now
move.
under a second.
Oh, look at that making the braking, going for it. Oh, Shaun's under the pressure. But he knows a good exit's more important than a good entry.
And Shaun's had a perfect season so far. He won both races in the first round. And under pressure to make it a clean slate. Let's see if Alwin's going to break that way. Alwin came in late last week. Just did the second race. Did very well in the second race.
Must say. Oh, he's up in there.
So fighting the car quite hard through the chicane there. Car snapping slightly into the counter cover left. Right, Lesmer won. Nice time behind there by both of them. Nice and third and next nice and clean. Let's see the
Look, he's
exit of Lesmer
close
too.
now.
He's better. It looks like Arden's a bit quicker and a bit quicker in, slower out. So Shaun was actually slower in with a better exit, so he starts to pull away down the straight.
Gap is 0.5.
Ooh, coming
Oh,
back.
0.4 for a second there. Yeah, no, he's in it. He's in it to win it. He's looking for one good exit and to not have it stolen from him on the second corner. So that's what I think his strategy was.
Looks like he's trying really hard because he's fighting the car really hard. I must say, Shaun Clarke is driving really good in these cars. He's driving very smooth, very consistent.
That's one delay.
Into Parabolica.
Doesn't seem to be close.
Just got it.
Need to put one foot wrong. Since he
Right.
took the lead.
Race 1 victory to Shaun Clarke. Second place to Adrian now.
Technically, he still has to cross the line. There we go.
Andre Dippenaar going to Parabolica now in third place. Richard Cilliers behind him. And right behind Richard we have, I believe that's Peter Geldernees.
Then comes Andre Hildebrand. Peter Geldernees gained.
And the Hildebrand looks like that move on the last corner.
I must say, Peter Geldernees was very consistent with his lap times.
Yes, definitely. We have Andre Hildebrand coming to the line. And then we'll have our mystery driver after that. Which,
Our mystery driver. Oh, the fake Wilio.
yes.
Wild card.
Well, he's got the password, guys. He must be part of the family somehow.
Yes, I recognize the name. I just assumed it was Wilbur, but I've obviously been getting it wrong and streaming it incorrectly. So apologies to whoever the driver is. You can hopefully give me a hard time afterwards. Tony Stanley coming across the line.
What about Brandon?
And Brandon coming across the line.
Probably still right at the back of the track.
Harvey seems to be going very slowly.
Well, Harvey had pitted before. I wonder if he had a problem with fuel maybe running out. Maybe he didn't put enough in for the rest of the race. He looks like he's really just running on idle. Is he going to make it?
That's going to be interesting.
A nail-biting finish to the first Radical race.
Well, while we're waiting for that, we can maybe jump to an onboard of Harvey and just see if he actually does make it. All right,
Thanks,
we're on
guys.
board. He's rolling. Race 2 will be up shortly. Are you going to stay with us, Julian?
I'll stay with you guys. I'm enjoying this. If not, why not? Shame he's not going to make it, guys. He's completely lost.
I don't think he's going to make it.
He's rolling at the moment. He's in neutral. That's about as far as he's going.
What he needs now is someone to come behind him and give him a bit of an assistance.
Maybe I should jump in the chat and tell the boys.
Just tell Donnie. Donnie's his son-in-law. He'll help your father-in-law. Give him a helping shove. He'll get a point for 10th place, so that's a championship point he's fighting for.
Maybe I'm going to ask ChatGPT to drive his car this afternoon. And then he asked it by mistake to say slowly, safely.
I think Harvey's going to fire his mechanic. Didn't put the right one for him. All right, let's jump to an air brake quickly.
It's a fuel issue. Unlucky.
Alright, welcome back everyone. Probably going to have the wrong overlay, but apologies for that. So it is round 2, not round 3. We are at Monza. This is race 2 of round 2 of the 2023 Alwin Radical Cup. I'm your commentator Dennis Mitchell. I'm joined by Hilton Nixon and Julian Bryants. Hopefully one day he'll correct me and I'll remember how to say his surname, so apologies again. But we're about to go live. There we go, the guys are away. As we now watch the guys wait for the camera to look the light towards the static camera. This is the standard cameras in Assetto Corsa, so apologies if that's not capturing much of the action.
Off early.
I believe that's Andre Hildebrandt losing the rear there. Not a good start for Andre.
I think we've lost a couple of drivers due to load shedding.
It looks like it. It looks like
I
it
don't-
might be a few less, yes.
Don't see Brandon. And I don't see Yanaman or only one kid's on the track.
Unless the guys are used to exiting for other races, they didn't realize that race 2 is coming up straight away. Anyway, we have race 2. So the guys that didn't stick around won't get any result. We have Shaun Clarke now joining. So he's going to be a lap down. Let's see. Oh, we see Harvey losing it there. So Shaun Clarke is going to have it very difficult this race if he's going to try and win this one. So very, very interesting so far. Looks like confusion that it's created. So Shaun Clarke is now joining the track. As we can see, he's now coming onto the track. Let's see if Shaun can salvage some kind of a good result. It's quite devastating for him actually, dominating the championship. I think it won't be the end of the world as a result of that. I believe he is still on the same lap at least. He hasn't lost a lap, so he's just very, very far down.
Yeah, I think leaders have just gone over the line now, so...
Three-way battle here. Kyalami, Peter Caldenes, and who's the other driver?
Randa?
Oh, the Imola is. Donnie has now taken the lead. Mitchell is just giving it back, so Alwin has now taken the lead. I think Donnie's probably ran it deep into turn 1. Let's take the escape road. Quite a close battle between these two drivers here. Race 2 does reverse the grid. I believe it is the top 10 that gets reversed. They only had 10 drivers in the race, so it should have been a reverse grid. I didn't have time to actually go through the grid order. Unfortunately, the start order seemed to be a bit too delayed. It's supposed to be a minute and a half, and it seems to be set to a minute. So I need to go over that and just double check that. So currently 16 and a half minutes left to go. Adrian is out in front. We have Richard Cilliers in second, Mr. Immelman in third, Jan Dippenaar in fourth, Peter Caldenes in fifth, Dani Stander in sixth, Andre Hildebrandt in seventh, and Hardy Huis in ninth. Shaun Clarke was in the race. I'm not sure if has he disconnected again. Does he have connection issues? It's not showing him in the race at the moment. Or am I missing him? He definitely had joined.
He's not in the race at the moment. Doesn't look like. Live timing doesn't show him. It's not on the map at all. Maybe he's load shedding.
The strange thing is, even on the live timing, if a driver joins the server and then disconnects, it leaves his time in the stored times. It doesn't show his time in the stored times, but he's not showing on the live times either, so he's just vanished. Anyway, Shaun is, I'm sure, going to still be on the top of the championship. The server does say that he disconnected, but it doesn't show his time, so I'm sure at some point in time he will rejoin the server. You can at least steal a point from this, not that he needs to, because I'm sure he'll dominate some of the other rounds, and then this can be a drop round for him. So Adrian now currently looks like he's going to win this race because he's just pulling away. And that being the case, he'll probably win the round overall, having had a second in race 1 and possibly a victory in this race.
Nice little pedal running out here for P3.
While we are looking at the live standings, I'm going to just run through the points at the moment. So currently in the championship we have, this is the points after the third race. So we have Shaun Clarke on 76 points, from Andre Dippenaar on 51 points, Adrian Nel on 33 points, Andre Hildebrandt on 31 points, Richard Cilliers in 5th place, 31 points as well. So I guess Andre Hildebrandt is tied for 31 points but has slightly better results. Brandon Roberts currently in 6th place with 20 points, Peter Murray in 7th place with 18 points, Peter Caldenes on 12 points, Shaun Johnson on 12 points, Mr. Immelman on 10 points, Daniel Stander on 4 points, and Harvey Huis on 1 point. So 12 drivers currently with points in the championship.
Nice little pass there from Januman. Jean J. Dippenaar, sorry.
I'm sure he doesn't mind people calling him Yanaman.
That's how we know him.
That's what's written on his car, after all.
Yeah. I missed that.
So unfortunately, not as busy a race as we were hoping for. I'm sure we'll see more and more drivers joining at later stages. Unfortunately, the championship has gone ahead, but some drivers are affected by load shedding. And the problem with Assetto Corsa, as I was telling Hilton during one of the breaks, you can't set the grid bigger and then cater for the drivers that can't make it and have reserves jump in. The grid is set, it's fixed to the current drivers. If other drivers can't make it that are in that, we can't replace them last minute, which is a bit of a bummer.
And unlike some of the other sims, you can't even, I suppose you wouldn't want to in a league race, add some AI just to fill the grid a bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can do that actually.
I don't think you can in AC, no. But anyway.
So Andre currently pulling away with 3.3 seconds from Richard. We have Andre Dippenaar in third place, so he's about 5 seconds shy of Richard, so quite a big gap there. We have Mr. Immelman in fourth place, about a second and a half behind Andre. Peter Geldernis about 5 and a bit seconds back. Then Donnie Stander about another 8 seconds back. Then Andre Hildebrandt 2 seconds shy of him, and then about probably 6 more seconds back we have Harvey Goos. We did see a little bit of an incident earlier, so he might be carrying some damage, so we'll see how the times reflect.
Tires still need to, and the cars need to, well, they go into the 155s on J now.
So pick close up a bit.
They were all in the 156s, 58s before. Cecilia's putting in 156. Everybody's lap time's improving. Cars seem to be settling. Field seems to be settling.
His fastest lap there.
It looks like we might have lost Harvey. We have a DNF for Harvey.
Peter Gelderman has picked up a spot there. On the Wiljo imposter who must have he must have come off.
I'm not too sure what's happening, but Harvey's just disconnected.
Immelman. W. Immelman. Harvey's just connected, yeah, that might be a load shedding issue as well.
Only being chased down by Andre. Yes, sir, Andre is actually being very consistent. It doesn't matter what sim he's actually racing in.
Yeah, definitely. Just going to Jules for our second piece. He seems to be stubborn slightly. I'm not sure looks like it's maybe recovered a bit. It's good there. We're watching Andre now in our second piece here. We see Donnie hitting the wall. Andre gets past as a result.
But unfortunate.
Unfortunate for Andre, unfortunate for Donnie. I think some of the guys are still struggling with the car and the setup. I believe the setup is now open. Round 1 we did have it fixed. Round 2 it should be open, so hopefully it is still open and I didn't leave it fixed, but I did remember changing it, but then I also did change the overlays and I got that wrong, so fingers crossed the setup is open. It should make a fair amount of difference being able to change a few of the settings. Some of the guys are saying the car is a bit snappy, so perhaps the suspension is a bit too stiff, perhaps the wheels, if the wheel bar is stiff, or front suspension is too hard and you can soften it. It could help the brakes not lock up as much. So on the hood I'm doing a 158 on that lap. Only with the spin doing a 203, so we lost quite a lot of time there, about 5 seconds. So Adrian Mel currently is almost 6 and a half seconds ahead of Richard. Richard's pulling away from Yonder at the moment. So Yonder had good pace in race 2. He actually had pretty much the fastest lap in race 2 right until the end until Adrian Mel stuck the fastest lap in. So Yonder did have good pace. We don't seem to have it at the moment though. not able to catch Richard, but maybe Richard's pace has also improved a little bit, but at the moment, yeah, definitely struggling.
Well, if he's not selling his cars, I think he did put the hammer down in the last 6 minutes. Most one.
Yeah, he's currently looking like he's about a second and a half slow Alwin is at the moment. But Richard the last lap was actually even slower. Richard did a 57.3 and Yonder did a 56.7. So Yonder actually did catch slightly by half a second. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's 6.7 at the moment. Let's see if that gap does come down. He does have 8.5 minutes to go. So you never know, maybe we'll see a switch there and he might get second place. Which will do wonders for his championship if he can.
I think we have Mr. Consistent Andre catching on to the back of Mr. Allen.
Yes. No, 4-7 gap, it is coming down slowly.
I like seeing these live timings in the background. Pretty cool.
I didn't realize I still had the dual stream going. I'm watching all the stuff thinking I'm looking at the wrong screen, so apologies for that. You can tell I'm not very familiar with streaming AC anymore. I'm making a lot of beginner mistakes tonight. So let's see if I can find...
It's unfortunate when you have such a small field, especially with cars like this, that generally there is quite a lot of close racing if there's a full field, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice packs that bunch up because, I mean, look at the spread at the moment. It seems to be fairly evenly spread. And it's lonely to race like that. It's not a lot of fun, and that's really why we do this.
Now,
So,
sometimes a small field can produce good racing if the drivers are close, because then you have
yeah.
less other guys getting in the way, and they can just focus on their racing. But when it's a small field and the pace is so different from front to back, yeah, it's not the most entertaining. So we have to
Yeah,
start
no,
doing as
just
the
focus.
golf commentators do and start talking about the birds.
Yeah, Arjun now just did the fastest middle sector. Sector 2.
You're trying to say I'm going to stop talking about the birds there.
No. Speak about the birds, bro. This is just a conversation. I think our stream must be more loose. Let's ask the viewers what they think. It's just because we're just a bunch of guys sitting in our bedrooms racing cars. It's really what's happening here.
Adrian did the fastest middle sector and fastest final sector on that last lap.
Oh yeah, no,
Time
he
was
had a
also
really
the
good lap.
best. Yep,
1:54.7. There we go. He's on fire, all on his own out there in front.
Andre Dippenaar is starting to improve. He did his fastest lap of a 56.3.
Settling.
Although the timing screen on the actual sim says otherwise. It said a 56.3, but on the live timing it said a 56.1.
There seems to be... Oh no,
Yeah, the live timing, the app that we use is a plugin, so it could be delayed. Maybe there's some sort of interference and it reads it slightly wrong, who knows.
William in the chat saying, could you hear my voice on screen? I'm always hearing it in team comps. He's saying he loves the birds.
Are we talking about the same birds?
Oh, wow! I think he needs to elaborate more on that one.
Peter Murray saying well done so far to the RSSR guys doing well. That's Richard and Andre. That's Red Line Sim Racing.
Yeah, no, they're pretty consistent.
Yes, and of course Willem staying the other driver that is talking to us about the birds.
It's nice to
Alwin just put in the fastest first sector. Let's see. Shall we watch his progress there? Not so good. Still a green second sector, not purple, but see if he can crack a 155 here.
Personal best middle sector.
They're going a bit wide, eh?
Guys, we're lacking that Martin Brundle energy in our broadcast.
I think it's the lack of
4
energy
minutes
on
to go. No. We need to bring that energy. It's up to us. I've heard that Shaun Johnson here on the stream. That guy can hoy. He knows things about things. And then he tells you things about things.
Oh, no, that's
so
not
much
Shaun
it is.
Johnson. That is.
Oh, that's Shaun. Other Shaun. What is Shaun's name? Our commentator.
Apologies to Shaun. I've just gone blank on his surname.
It's my fault, Shaun. Don't blame Dennis. You know he's busy doing a lot, and I'm just distracting him here. Banter. Okay.
I must say it's nice to see the other drivers supporting the drivers tonight that usually take part in the R53 championship.
Yeah, we thought you were the only one that cared, Hilton. Seems some
Oh.
others do as well.
Wow, I'm sure we all do.
I think the closest
Here we
gap
go.
on the track at the moment is between Richard and Yandre, so I'm going to just try and find that, and we can look back from Richard and just see if we can see, or maybe we can look forward from Yandre and just see what's actually happening. So let's just have a quick look at Yandre's point of view as he goes through Ascari. Aggressively through the first car, nice and smooth through the second, hopefully carrying enough speed. We'll see how the gap pans out between himself and Richard. Previous lap he was about a tenth faster than Richard, actually about half a tenth faster than Richard. Gap is currently 3.5 seconds, so
Feel that energy coming up there, Dennis. Let's go.
2.5 minutes left to go, so it'll be that plus a lap. Let's see if he can at least catch. It's going to be difficult, but you know it's possible. Richard did a 56.8 in the last lap, 56.5 for Yandre, so Yandre another 3/10 faster on that lap. The gap is coming down.
We found that posting this fastest lap, 155.
55.5, yeah, not bad, not bad.
Good time, yeah, very good time. Currently 4.5 seconds behind Yandre, so I'm not sure if it's a little bit too late, but good to see the least improving throughout the race meeting. Which is also good for the drivers as well. You need to know that you're capable of improving, and as the series goes, you get more familiar with the car, and the results get much closer. You also don't race much Assetto Corsa anymore, so the guys have to kind of adapt to the sim. A lot of our drivers only drive when it's an official race. They don't do all the other events because they've got a family thing with them doing whatever else. So anytime the drive is Assetto Corsa is when we have an Assetto race, and this is the first one we've had in probably 6 months. I guess that is also partly due to the load shedding that we had a big delay.
Load shedding for our international audiences when we lose power to our houses.
So when the government decides we don't deserve the power, so they turn it off for a couple of hours at a time.
Get allocated power plots where we can charge our phones. And so
It's a privilege to have power. If they don't think you deserve the privilege, they'll turn it off for 8 to 10 hours a day.
anyway, that is a discussion for another day. Yeah. I see Willem Stein in the comments loving the birds. All our boys are out here, Pete and Major as well, loving our bunch of guys sitting in bedrooms racing. We see you, brothers. We see you.
Probably a bunch of guys in their bedroom watching as a bunch of guys are driving, as a bunch of guys are chatting.
Yeah.
A lot happens in the bedrooms these days.
Way of the world now.
Amazing there's still these marshals on the side of the track.
Yes, it's quite weird how in some sims that it's not animated. Of course, Assetto Corsa is a very old sim, so it didn't have all these animated things. I believe some of the mods, the new mod tracks, do have animated things, like the new Zwartkops mod that Prototype has done, or Dale has done, Dale Best. That has animations in it. The Mercedes logo rotates on it, for example. That we will see in the final round. We'll be using that track. Probably one of the best looking tracks. The drivers, by the way, are onto their second last lap. So the time is run out.
Willem Stein commenting here. He's watching from his bed. Sounds like a strange character, that boy. No, I'm just joking. We know Willem. He's good people.
One of us. We're all strange.
You've got to have that element of strange. Imagine the world without it.
Yes.
It'd be one boring place.
Okay, so now we've got the last 53 seconds. I want that Martin Brundle energy. Let's work on it, boys. Let's go.
Alright, so we have a bit of a big gap between Ardenal. It looks like Ardenal's got this one in the bag, but the gap between Richard and Yandre seems to have grown slightly. So Richard has responded to Yandre, and the gap between Peter and Yandre has pretty much stabilized. So I don't think, barring an incident between those 3 or 4, that there will be any changes there. But we do seem to have a closer battle brewing between, it looks like, Mr. Hildebrandt and Mr. Immelman. So the battle for 5th place might be on. Perhaps we can jump to that view shortly and just see the final lap between them.
According to my live, okay, there we go. Something's just updated now, but there's 2 seconds between them. Andre is behind him, 2 seconds behind.
Yeah, so going into the last lap,
Oh my.
and that is, I think, the closest back. I think Golden has just had a DNF. I'm not sure what happened. He just popped up with a DNF.
All I thought was just steering into the side of the track. Not sure if that's maybe because it's bike or it's being confirmed.
So that means the other drivers are all going to pick up a few more points, which is quite crucial in the championship. You only get points for the top 10 positions.
Very unfortunately.
Right, we're on the final lap. We're watching the closest battle, Andre Hildebrandt. We're on board with him, and we also have the trackside camera with him. We'll change to our race leader shortly. At the moment, this is the best battle. Andre is closing with quite a rate, so there might be a chance that he catches, but I think it's going to be too much. I think it's going to be I think it's a bit too late. I'm just trying to watch the gaps closer to see how it's changing, but it looks like it's now 1.5 seconds, so it's fluctuating between 1.5 and 1.7, and the one about 2 seconds. So different parts of the track almost catching here. Certainly visually it looked like he was catching it, but now see over now going around Parabolica.
It's a nice onboard. See the pace of the car, you really feel it.
Yeah. Right, we transition over to the main view. See Adrianel taking race 2 victory. So race 2 victory and a race 1 second place. I believe that's first place overall for the weekend. Richard Cilliers taking second place. I think that might be second place overall for himself.
Second place overall, yeah.
And Yandre, it's either between Richard and Yandre for second or third. So congratulations on 3 of them. Mr. Immelman will take 4th place possibly from Andre Hildebrandt. It looks like Andre Hildebrandt does not have enough to catch. So Mr. Immelman will take 4th place, good result. Andre Hildebrandt will take 5th place, and it looks like Dani Stander will take 6th place. Quite far back, but I'm sure they'll have enough time to finish the race. And then of course Peter Caldenes and Harvey Coast, they both had DNFs, but they finished in the top 10, so I think they will still get points. Which is one benefit of having a smaller field. If you finish, you're likely to still finish in the points. Not too sure what happened to our other drivers. Yeah, I'm not too sure if the drivers... Yeah, I'm not too sure if the drivers like Shaun Clarke will get points for having joined and then disconnected. He did try join, he did get on track. It doesn't show him the live timing here, but possibly it will show it. Anyway, I'm going to jump to an ad break and we'll come back shortly with the top 3 for interviews. right, good evening everyone. We are now finishing up for round 2, not round 3, of our championship from Monza in Italy. Joined tonight by our top 3 finishers. So in the top 3, hopefully this is correct, we have Adrian taking victory for the weekend. We have Yandre Dippenal taking 2nd and Richard Cilliers taking 3rd. So let's start with Adrian. Adrian, fantastic to have you taking your first weekend victory. You didn't have the race go your way in race 1. You just couldn't quite catch Shaun. You had a fantastic race 2 though, and unfortunately Shaun had a bad race 2, but you had good pace in race 2, so you finally got a victory overall. So tell us from your point of view, what was the race like?
Well, the first race was I was quite surprised by Shaun's pace. Like he had utter strong pace. Was still getting at the end of the race, first race I got it together. I could catch him again. Second race went well, but like 3/4 way through, my shifter broke, my upshift broke, so I was doing it like a sequential. I don't know what the magnet, something's off, but yeah, I got comfortable to car and yeah, got good pace. I actually binned it on the last lap. I hope it wasn't caught on camera. But
No,
yeah.
it wasn't. Thankfully, it had missed it.
Yeah,
all right.
it was good.
Then Yandre, a fantastic recovery. I know you don't particularly like Assetto Corsa anymore, but you seem to be getting the results in this car at least. So you managed to scrape through with a 2nd overall for another weekend. So tell us how the weekend went from your point of view.
Yeah, I don't want to be our big friend Max Verstappen and diss the game, but I don't really like AC. In this car, it doesn't go to bad for me. I've got a setup that my brother built, and I tweaked it for me. So yeah, that also helped a lot. We had a nice race. Adrian is very fast. I don't think we will catch him and Shaun, but we will try our best.
Yeah, there's been a bit of guys moaning about how fast Adrian is, so it's nice to see Adrian getting some challenge from Shaun and some of the other guys. Unfortunately, Wilro also was one of the guys who would challenge but didn't make the race.
Yeah, he's unfortunately got a meeting tonight, and I was also supposed to be there, but I told him, no, I've got this race. I don't like the guys to force the guys to come and race with us, and I don't race with them, so that's why I'm here.
Well, thank you for that.
Ever the gentleman, eh? Ever the gentleman.
and
Well
then
done.
Richard, you've made it to the podium once again, 3rd place overall. So that's a PZN 2nd, 3rd for the weekend. Well, technically it's 1, 2, 3 because Adrian, I believe you also PZN now. I stand corrected. So Richard, how was the race from your point of view?
Yeah, it was nice. After round 1 that I had a bit of a struggle in the first round. But yeah, luckily tonight went well for me. Like everybody said, Adrian is very fast. I tried to hang on with him for a few laps, but it just didn't work. And Janaman there at the back of me helping me along. So yeah, it was nice. I didn't practice much for this evening, but yeah, luckily it went well for me.
At some point, yourself and Yandre were having a bit of a dice there. And Julian happened to say that, we thought maybe there was something like team orders. It looked like you might have moved over. Then you came back at him. So were there any team orders between you guys?
No, actually the group chat was very quiet. Only when we spoke was when I'm on your inside or I'm on your outside. So it was very quiet, no team orders. I tried to catch Janaman in that first race. Yeah, and unfortunately that last turn there, I overdrove it a bit, and yeah, I went wide, and then Peter Geldenhuis took me there. So yeah.
Overall, great result anyway, and some good entertaining dicing between you guys there. So good to see. Adrian, perhaps, I don't know if Julian, if yourself or Hilton would like to ask the guys any questions. We could start with Adrian.
Adrian, just a quick question. Race 1 looked like you were just pacing yourself there for the end. Was that to save the tires?
No, to be honest, I was pushing quite hard. Like I said, in the beginning of the race, I was pushing it, but I was overdriving the car, and that caused me to lose time and make mistakes. And by the end of it, I got the a better feel of the car, and then I could run good pace and consistent, and that's why I think, catch up. With the lap or two, I think I could have given Shaun a run for his money.
And then perhaps, Julian, would you like to ask Yandre a question?
Jean-Jay, I'd like to understand from you if you're going to uninstall AC now.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for this league to finish up. Then I will most likely delete it. But then I've got another problem. Our NSA, like your MSA, is also going to host leagues, and that will be in AC. So I must see what I'm going to do. But it will be uninstalled very shortly.
But AC is not a bad sim, man. Come, we have to give it to it. It's a good starting block. It's a good place to start to get into sim racing, you know. But it's we happen to just have something that's now better. But it's still a good place. It's still a good sim. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't knock it. Let's not knock it.
I do agree with you.
Max Verstappen.
Yes, no, I do agree with you. But I'm over it. I will just do RF2 after this, and then we'll see what's happening. And AMS2, that's also not bad.
And then Richard, would either Hilton or Julian like to ask Richard a final question?
Richard, I like when you speak English. I'm teasing. I'm just. I know this is like very serious now when we're on the broadcast. It suddenly becomes a very formal thing. I like it, but I like to loosen you guys up a little bit as well.
And undo the screws.
Exactly.
You know my tongue gets finished of English.
Yeah, John Ray runs out of English airtime.
Yeah, me as well.
Then let me just throw this in there while you guys are listening to some English. The points for the championship at the moment, we have Shaun Clarke on 76 points. In first place, Yandre Dupinard, second place, 66 points. Adrian, you're now in third place on 58 points. Richard, you're in fourth place on 49 points. And then Andre Hildebrandt in fifth, Brandon Roberts sixth, Peter Murray seventh, Mr. Immelman in eighth, Peter Geldenes in ninth, Shaun Johnson 10th, Donnie Stand 11th, and Harvey Goes in 12th. So let's just wrap it up, guys. Let's do a final shout out from Adrian if you would like to give a shout out.
Well, I should actually say thanks to Yandre and then. He's sponsored me the BMW and such for RF2 now. So yeah, let's see if I can compete with the guys there. Usually on AC or ACC or iRacing, but RF2 is a bit new to me. But looks like I've got the pace, but the guys are fast. So
yeah, doing great. All right, Yandre, any shout outs from your side?
Yes, I'd like to say thank you to the team. Dennis, thank you to you. Julian, Hilton, thank you to you guys. And then one last shout out. This week we secured a sponsor for courier in Namibia, Formula Couriers. They're going to do it for us for free. So thank you guys.
Lovely, man.
Oh, fantastic.
Great stuff. And Richard, any shout outs from you?
Just thanks to the team, thanks to everybody that pitched for tonight's race. It was nice, it was fun. Thanks to you, Dennis, Julian, Hilton for the commentary and the stream you held. Thanks to you guys. Without you guys, this wouldn't have been possible. And yeah, see you guys next week.
Thanks. It's been a pleasure, you guys. Thanks for joining us. I'm just going to kick you guys out for now, and then I'm just going to finish up the channel stream. So I'm just going to literally just drag you all guys out.
Thanks for having me on the stream here, Dennis. That was
It's
fun.
been a pleasure, and thanks for joining.
I enjoyed making it nice and informal, and I
Slightly
love to hear the audience's feedback on our formatting, what they think about it, and if they'd be interested in hearing from the Sim Experience guys, if we had some podcasting that we'd like to do. And
Julian's going to help make that happen, so let us know how keen you are on that, and we will do it.
And give us some topics that you'd like to hear about. We obviously want to discuss RF2, Max Verstappen, and servers. That's clearly a topic we're hungry for.
And birds.
Yeah,
apparently birds is a popular one.
Julian, I was saying to you earlier on that conversation we were having would have been a perfect one for the podcast.
Yeah, but thanks, Dennis. Thanks for having us. It was fun. We hope we added something, brought a little something different to the podcast, and I managed not to use any foul language.
And of course, thanks to everyone watching, and those that are watching, if you liked, remember to like and subscribe, and to come back for races on Sunday and other Wednesdays. So we will catch you guys all then. Until then, the season schedule is on screen now. So next week we'll be doing Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. And then we'll be following that with Road America, Imola, Barcelona, MotoGP layouts, Mugello, and Zwartkops. So coming home for the final round to Zwartkops. That'll be a fantastic closing round. Until then, guys, have a good week, and we will catch you at the next race weekend.
Good night.
Cheers, guys.
Yes.